Very good afternoon, students. Today we are going to see about that VLSI design flow. So this is a typical structure of that VLSI design flow. So the VLSI design cycle starts with your formal specification of a VLSI chip, follows a series of steps, and eventually produces a packaged chip. So a typical design cycle may be represented by the flow chart shown in the figure. So this is the flow chart of VLSI design flow. So there are 8 pods are there. First one is the system specification and architectural design, functional design, logic design, circuit design, physical design, and fabrication, at last the packaging and testing. So first thing we are going to see about that system specification. So in system specification, the first step of any design process is to lay down the specification of the system. So this is the customer satisfaction. So the system specification is a high level representation of the system. The factors to be considered here is the performance, functionality, and physical dimensions, that is, and size of the die. So the fabrication technology and design techniques are also considered here. So the specification of a system is a compromise between market requirements, technology, and economical viability. So the end results of specifications for the size, speed, power, and functionality of the VLSI system. So based on the customer requirement, so first we have a system specification. So then we go for an architectural design. So the basic architecture of the system is a design in this step. This includes such decisions as RISC, that is a reduced instruction set computer, versus CISC, the complex instruction set computer. The number of ALUs, floating point units, a number and in structure of pipelines, and size of caches, among others. So with this we make architectural design. So the outcome of architectural design is a micro architectural specification. So here it predicts the performance, power, and die size of the design based on such a description. Then next is that behavioral and functional design. The functional design, or it is called it as a behavioral design. So in this step, main functional units of the systems are identified. The interconnect requirements between the units, the area, power, and other parameters of each unit are estimated. So the behavioral aspects of the system are considered without implementation specific information. For example, if I may specify that a multiplication is required, but exactly in which mode such multiplication may be executed is not specified. We may use a variety of multiplication hardware depending on the speed and word size requirements. So the key idea is to specify behavior in terms of input, output, and timing of each unit. So without specifying its internal structure, we can specify all those things. So the outcome of functional design is usually a timing diagram or other relationship between units. So this information leads to improvement of the overall design process and reduction of the complexity of subsequent phases. So next is that logic design. In this step, the control flow, word widths, register allocation, arithmetic operations, and logical operation of the design that represent the functional design are derived and tested. So this description is called register transfer level description, that is an RTL, register transfer level description. So RTL is expressed in a hardware description language such as VHDL or Verilog. So normally we use a Verilog HDL. This description can be used in simulation and verifications. So we can use the both VHDL or Verilog for simulation and verification. So this description consists of Boolean expressions and timing information. So the Boolean expressions are minimized to achieve the smallest logical design which conforms to the functional design. So this logic design of the system is simulated and tested to verify its correctness. In some special cases, logic design can be automated using high-level synthesis tools. So these tools produces a RTL description from a behavioral description of the design. So this is about that logical design. So mainly the logical designs consist of that arithmetical operation and logical operation of the design. We are verified through a VHDL and Verilog. So next is that circuit design. So the purpose of circuit design is to develop a circuit representation based on the logic design. So the Boolean expressions are converted into a circuit representation by taking into consideration the speed and power requirements of the original design. The circuit simulation is used to verify the correctness and timing of each component. So the circuit design is usually expressed in a detailed circuit diagram. The diagram shows the circuit elements that consist of cells, macros, gates, and transistors, and interconnections between these elements. This representation is also called a netlist. So tools used to manually enter such description are called schematic capture tools. In many cases, a netlist can be created automatically from logic description by using logic synthesis tools, that is by RTL. Then finally we move on to that physical design. So up to this is considered as a logical design. So after these last three, the physical design, fabrication, packaging, and testing is comes under the physical design. So in this physical design step, the circuit representations is converted into a, that is netlist is converted into a geometrical representation. As started earlier, this geometric representation of a circuit is called a layout. So the layout is created by converting each logic component into a geometric representation that specific shapes in multiple layers which perform the intended logic function of the corresponding components. So the exact details of the layout also depend on design rules, which are guidelines based on the limitations of the fabrication process and the electrical properties of the fabrication materials. That's all. The physical design is a very complex process, and therefore it is usually broken down into various sub-steps, various verifications and validation checks, and performed on the layout during physical design. So in many cases, the physical design can be completely or partially automated, and layout can be generated directly from netlists by layout synthesis tools. While fast to have an area and performance penalty which limit their use to some designs, manual layout, while slow and manually intensive, does have better area and performance as compared to synthesized layout. Then move on to that fabrication. So this is that final step of that VLSI design flow. So before packaging, we have to fabricate everything. So after layout and verification, the design is ready for fabrications, since layout data is typically sent to a fabrication on a tape. The event of release of data is called tape outs. The layout data is converted into a photolithographic mask, one for each layer. Mask identifies spaces on the wafer where certain materials need to be deposited, diffused, or even removed. The silicon crystals are grown and sliced to produce a wafers. Extremely small diamonds of VLSI device requires that the wafers be polished to near perfection. The fabrication process consists of several steps involving deposition and diffusion of various materials on the wafer. During each step, one mask is used. Several dozen masks may be used to complete the fabrication pass. So the finally package and testing. So every chips or every manufacturing component to be tested. So before marketing. So finally the wafer is fabricated and diced into individual chips in a fabrication facility. So each chip is then packaged and tested to ensure that it meets all the design specification which is given by the customer and that it functions properly. Chips are used in printer circuit boards are packaged in dual inline package, that is in DIP, pin grid array, that is PGA, ball grid array, that is BGA, and quad flat package. Then chips used in multi-chip modules are not packaged since MCMs are bare or NEC chips. So this is about that VLSI design flow. So there are 6 steps are there in that design flow: system specification, architectural design, functional design, logic design, circuit design, physical design, fabrication, and packaging and testing. That's all. Thank you so much.